A teacher recently asked me if I were to start my classroom all over from scratch, what things would I buy? I'm taking that challenge today and thinking about if I was starting a classroom with nothing, what I would start with, and I'm going to try to keep it under $100. I have two disclaimers for today's video. The first is that this is not a Pinterest-worthy, perfect classroom. This is the essentials that you need to get started on day one. Second disclaimer, before you buy anything, please do this. Go to your office manager or principal and ask, what is the budget for setting up a new classroom? Most schools and districts have funds set aside for teachers who are setting up a new classroom, and you really want to ask what funds are available and how to access those funds. They may have a certain way they want you to get reimbursed or order things, so really check in with your office before you buy anything because hopefully they can cover a lot of these things. All right, let's get into this video. Now, everything I'm sharing today is not sponsored. I'm just sharing if I was going today, August 2023, into the store, what I would buy. So let's start first at the Dollar Tree. First thing I would buy would be borders for your bulletin boards because it just makes the place look nice and you can get them for pretty cheap. So unfortunately, the Dollar Tree is now the $1.25 tree, but it's still a pretty good price. And if I was doing this, I'd buy 5 packs just to be safe because you never know what kind of big bulletin boards you're gonna have. So that would come out to $6. Also at the dollar store, I would buy, they have these magnetic clips. They're like magnets that have a clip on them, and I'd buy a pack of those. I think sometimes in this technology age, when we're showing students so many images on slides, it's nice to have a visual of what is expected at the end of class, just as a little reminder on your board. The last thing I would buy at the Dollar Tree are containers. I would use these containers to organize my classroom communal supplies. So things like scissors, glue sticks, and then I'd have a few containers for things like markers, colored pencils, and crayons. I would buy 8 of these containers, which would cost about $10. The next store I would go to is IKEA. That's probably because that's where I originally bought these, and they still have a similar set. I feel like I'm not gonna say this correctly. It's called the Dronjons or something, Dronjons or something, D-R-O-N-G-O-N-S. I'd buy those, and I'd buy 3 packs. Each pack has 2, and so I'd buy 3, so I had 1 for each period. And what I would use these for is to create my assignment turn-in spot. I would stack them on top of each other, and then I would label them period 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or you could label them by content area. If you're elementary, you might want to do science, math, reading, kind of that way. If I bought 3 of them, it would cost around $27. Let's move on to the next store, and that would be Amazon. I would first buy these magnetic strips for the whiteboard. What I like to do is when I first get into a classroom, I like to set my whiteboard up. And what that looks like is setting up the side of the whiteboard with a little section for daily things that I'm changing in and out. I have a video that I will link here about what to have on your whiteboard, but what I would do is section off those 4 components on the board so that they're constantly in students' view. If you don't want to buy these magnets, you can also just use a colored masking tape. That works totally fine, but I find these magnets are kind of nice and I just really like them. Now, along with the magnetic strips on Amazon, I would also buy some colorful duct tape. Now you're probably wondering, what in the world is that for? I would use this to mark my pencils. Pencils are like gold. Somehow they get lost quite a bit. I remember when I first got pencils in my classroom and I put them in a cute little container, and by the end of the day, all the pencils were gone. And so I realized I needed a system, and there's a bunch of things online if you want to find it, but for me, just taping the top with a colorful duct tape at least helped me visually see who had my pencils. And I could see also, I would find at times, if it did get lost, I would find pencils down the hallway or other areas of the school and be like, oh, that's my pencil. I know it seems silly, but just having that marked will help students realize, oh, this is not my pencil, I should give it back. So the last store we're gonna go to is Walmart. And what I would do at Walmart is I would buy 6 of these storage crates, and I would use 1 for each period or content area if you're elementary, and I would put student supplies all their notebooks for period 1, all the notebooks period 2, or all the folders or whatever. I would put them all in an organized fashion. That way, every day, students can go to the bin and find their stuff, take it out before class, and put it back at the end of class. The ones I found at Walmart were $6, and I'd buy 6 of them, so that's about $36. So now we're at the $100 mark. What's awesome is that some classrooms I've been in actually already have cubbies for this kind of thing. So I wouldn't have to buy these. I could just use the cubbies that are already in the room. And those are my essentials for a great first day for under $100. And if you liked this, you're gonna enjoy this video where I share how to set up a classroom in one day. I'm Annie, and I believe you've got this.